All right, so let's talk about something pretty much all of us do, the toast. At weddings, birthdays, New Year's, we raise a glass. But have you ever stopped to think about where that comes from? It's a surprisingly wild story. Okay, let's get into it.
It's almost muscle memory, right? Raise the glass, say a few words, clink, and drink. We just do it. But why? Why the clink? The story behind this simple little act is this amazing mix of ancient fear, some weird food habits, and even battlefield cries. So, our first stop on this journey is, well, it's a little dark. We're going way back to a time when sharing a drink with someone could literally be a death sentence. Yeah, we're diving into a world of ancient power struggles where trust was a very, very rare thing. I want you to just picture this. You're at a huge feast. The person sitting across from you, your biggest political rival. Now, everyone's smiling, but poison was a shockingly common way to get rid of people back then. Every single cup of wine could be your last. So how could you possibly know your host wasn't trying to take you out? Well, they came up with a pretty forceful but really practical solution. The idea was, you'd slam your goblets together so hard that the wine would slosh from your cup into theirs and theirs into yours. It was this unspoken agreement. Hey, if your wine is poisoned, so is mine now. We drink together, we survive together. It completely flipped a moment of danger into a pact of trust. Okay, let's step away from all the poison and move on to something, well, a lot more appetizing. This next theory has a totally different flavor, and it actually comes from the word we use in English, toast.
And yes, I mean actual toast, like a piece of burnt bread. This is not a metaphor. At least it wasn't at first. So what on earth does a slice of bread have to do with clinking glasses?
So back in the 1600s, wine and ale could be a little rough, you know? To make it taste better, it was a common trick to drop a piece of spiced, toasted bread into the big jug of wine. The toast would kind of soak up some of the gnarly bits and the acidity, and it would give the drink a nice smoky flavor. And hey, the person who got the last pour from the jug got the wine-soaked toast as a little snack. And this is where the word itself starts to evolve. People began raising their glasses to honor a specific person, often a well-loved woman who they started calling the toast of the town. Why? Because just like that piece of bread, she was the one who added all the flavor and spice to the party. After a while, the act of honoring someone became making a toast, and we kind of forgot all about the actual bread.
So right there, we have two completely different stories happening at the same time. On one side, you've got this dark, suspicious ritual from the ancient world that's all about survival. And on the other, you have this much happier, celebratory thing from 17th century England that's all about making bad wine taste good. But wait, the story isn't over yet. In a whole other part of Europe, the custom grew from something completely different. Not fear, not flavor, but from the battlefield. And the root of this story is a German phrase, Bringstier. It probably doesn't look familiar, but believe it or not, it's the ancestor of a word that tons of people still use for a toast today. The story goes that in 1527, after German soldiers sacked Rome, a huge victory for them, they would raise their cups in the air and shout, Bringstier, which basically means, I bring it to you, or I offer it to you. It was a cry of victory, an offering of their success to their fellow soldiers. And like languages always do, the phrase traveled and changed. Spanish speakers picked up on this German battle cry, and Bringstier slowly morphed into the word brindis, which is the Spanish word for making a toast. So every time someone in Spain makes a brindis, they're actually echoing a 500-year-old soldier's cry of victory. Pretty cool, huh? So we've got poison, bread, and battle cries. How did all of these different threads get woven together into the simple cheers we say today? Well, it's all about this evolution, this journey from just trying to survive to pure celebration. When you really break it down, a modern toast is this beautiful mashup of all these histories. You can feel a little bit of that ancient pact of trust, that feeling that we're all in this together. There's the gesture of honor from the toast of the town. We're pointing to someone or something and saying you're special. There's that cry of victory. We're celebrating a win, no matter how small. And it's all wrapped up in this single moment of shared community. So the next time you raise your glass, just think about what you're actually doing. You're not just clinking some glass together. You're taking part in a ritual that's thousands of years old. A ritual that says, I trust you, I honor you, and I celebrate this very moment with you. It turns a simple social habit into this really meaningful connection with our past. So, cheers to that.